What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nanu Garage, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about life with the Shelby Gt350. So I've been living with this car for a very long time now. I've had it for a full year and it's been my daily driver. I've put around 8,000 miles onto the car, and all 8,000 have been amazing in this past year. And if I'm being honest, probably like 4,000 out of those 8,000 are hard miles on the car. But in today's video, because this car is my daily, it only makes sense to tell you guys the experience of this car being a daily and how practical it is and how it is in the everyday life. So obviously this car already has a disadvantage being a daily car, which is the fact that it's a manual transmission, because from the standpoint of driving in traffic, like right now, because these guys are bots, they don't know how to drive a car, you know, you have to downshift, you have to switch gears quite a bit, and it's really how much you're willing to switch gears and stuff. And what the fuck is happening here? What the fuck? Dumb bitch. But yeah, this car, obviously being a manual, it's not going to be as practical as you want it to be, because I think it's just all how much are you willing to drive a manual car on a daily basis. And this transmission is very nice. The clutch is very light, so I'll give it that. The car's clutch is so light that it honestly makes it very easy to be your daily driver car. So your left foot never really does get killed driving this vehicle. The other disadvantage of this car being a daily is you really do just know you have to rev it out to get power, you know. It's 4,000 RPMs is where you start getting power. So if you're dailying this car, just know that you're gonna have to be able to get the car kicked up in the RPMs to get it moving fast if you're in traffic. So for example, me in California traffic, I have to get in those high RPMs so I can make all these fast maneuvers and lane changes. But aside from it being manual and the traffic standpoint, if you're willing to put up with it, the clutch pedal is so light in this car. I've driven the car like 6 hours in a day or even more sometimes, and I've never had a single day where the clutch is just too much and it's too heavy and I say just forget it. Why is this even a thing? It's great. So the clutch is very light, trans is very nice. The other thing about this car being a daily, living with it, is it does take a while to warm up. I've been driving the car for about 8 minutes now, and I let it idle to 100 degrees, and it's still at 162 oil temperature. And once it gets around 190, that's when you should push the car, or 180. It does take a while to warm up, especially when it's colder outside. It takes so long because the oil coolers, so it's probably best to just idle it to get it nice and warm. But aside from that, I honestly think the car is amazing as a daily. And on an average, we can check here, this is me getting on it and driving highway too, mix of both, city and highway. A very good number, I guess you could say, which is 14.3 miles to the gallon. That's like a very good representation, I think you could say, for what miles per gallon you will get on the way to work while still having a lot of fun and still driving on highway miles and in traffic. So 14.3 is what I'm getting, and I'm freaking enjoying this thing. So yeah, I guess you could say it's kind of bad. Big pothole right there, but I honestly don't think it's as bad as it should be, given it's a flat plane crank racing motor. Yeah, gas prices are going up, blah blah blah, whatever. It's one of those things you got to deal with, and this car is so freaking amazing that you can just deal with it. Now let's move on to the next thing, and that's, honestly, I can't believe I'm actually talking about this in a car like this. Practicality. I think it's very practical car. If you have kids, they can fit in the back seats over here. I've had people who are if you're under 6 foot, you can fit in the seats back there. It's not going to be comfortable, but you can fit in the seats back there for a drive. And it's honestly, if you're able to put up with it, it's not all that bad. I've had friends sitting here for like 2 hours at a time, and it's not that bad. It's brutal once you get past that 2 hour mark, but it's very nice to have those back seats, which you don't get in the GT350R. And another pro about the back seats is they do fold down, so you get tons of storage in the back, and it sounds stupid, but the trunk opening is bigger than my 4-door sedan Cadillac CTS-V Gen 3, the trunk opening on this car. So I do feel like in some sort of way I am kind of able to fit more things in this car than the CTS-V. CTS-V obviously has more comfortable back seats, but this thing, storage wise, it is fantastic. And then the Recaro seats, I think they're very comfortable. For being a Recaro seat, they're incredibly comfortable. The exhaust is this loud. Close the valves, it's so quiet, whisper quiet. You can go on phone calls for work, and no noise at all. No noise at all. The valves do a fantastic job in this vehicle. So yeah, that's the next thing. The valves do a fantastic job. And then you also have your suspension, so you can put your damper mode in normal, and I think it's incredibly smooth for being a GT350. And this isn't as smooth as like the CTS-V or other sedans like Mercedes and some BMWs, but I think it's a little bit smoother than the BMW M4. And the dampening mode, then you can put it into sport or into track if you go in track mode, which feels super rough. You can have it in your different steering modes, sport, comfort, and normal, and all the steering modes are very good. That's the other thing about this car. Yes, it's low, but it's a very thick piece of plastic, so if you scrape it, don't worry about it. You just don't want to hit like a curb with it. All right, we're fine. So the R splitter, will obviously it's a lot more sketchy getting up things like this. Lowness wise, hit potholes and stuff like that, the car's fine. The car does literally perfectly fine hitting potholes and things like that. It's so dialed in, the suspension, that it really won't ever bottom out. I've only bottomed out this car once, and it was out on the mountain drive with NorCal and SoCal Shelbys. We're coming around the bend, and it was a big little like dip, and it kind of went up, and the whole car bottomed out because I was carrying some speed, and the car's perfectly fine. So the splitter's very thick, and you don't have to worry about damaging anything on this car, if I'm being completely honest. I don't care too much about scraping the splitter at all, and it's honestly able to get through a lot of things. It doesn't scrape everywhere on stock suspension. Once you put iBox you're gonna scrape everywhere with, which is lowering springs. Ford Performance lowering springs, you can actually get away with quite a few things, so those aren't all that bad, which I'm thinking of throwing on these. So I'll do a review on it once I get those. But that's basically the Shelby Gt350 in short, practicality wise. The handling's amazing. You can look at other videos where I talk about how amazing this car really is, and it's honestly, like, practicality wise, I'm impressed with the car. I don't think it's all that bad. I think it's amazing daily, given that you obviously, when you have a fast car, you have to sacrifice something, and with this car being a Shelby Gt350, you obviously have to make some sacrifices, and this car is very good, given that you could be really comfortable and you could be very fast in these back roads and have tons of fun. So let me know what you guys thought of it down below in the comment section. If you want to see a video of me tearing it up in the back roads, having some other fun, make sure you guys do check out the channel, because I have so many videos of me talking about how the car is amazing as a performance car, but I don't think I have any talking about it as a daily, from the daily perspective. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them, because I'm not sure if I really did cover everything in this video. I'm pretty sure I did. But if you have any questions that I did not cover, leave them down below and I will respond to them. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Peace.
They're trying to lock us up, but we ain't gonna stop, boy. They're trying to lock us up, but we ain't gonna stop, boy. They're trying